Hello, thanks for joining this webinar where we're going to learn how to build a 21st century resume and get a job fast. My name is Titus Blair. I've built, run, and grown successful e-commerce, mobile, and technology startups. I've been featured in television, newspaper, magazines, as well in a book called Startup Nation. And I'm the founder of AI Resume. And I'm dedicated to leveraging AI for the benefit of humanity. That means I want to use artificial intelligence to help us be better humans. And in this case, I want to help us find jobs and keep jobs in the 21st century. Artificial intelligence will transform businesses and the work that people do. Process work, customer work, and vast swaths of middle management will simply disappear. 50% of occupations today will no longer exist in 2025. That's from Fast Forward 2030, CBRE. This is crazy. Let me repeat that again. 50% of occupations today will no longer exist in 2025. And that's because the 21st century is unlike any other we've ever experienced, where the advent of artificial intelligence is going to change everything we know. You need a resume that will help you compete today and far into the future, something that will give you a competitive advantage. I want to talk about that resume, the resume of the 21st century. It has 4 components. It's automated, intelligent, data-driven, and engaging. I'm going to break these down right now for you. We're going to talk about how you can build or upgrade your resume to feature some of these things. First, let's talk about automated. Your resume is to find jobs for you automatically. I know it's a dream. It's not there yet. Right now, technology is not out there, except for AI Resume, that allows you to it goes out and finds jobs for you and sends them to you. And that's just not there. But we do have things called job alerts. Now, there are sites out there like Indeed, Monster, and LinkedIn, which I have on the left, the icons, if you're looking at the screen here. And those allow you to do job alerts. And if you don't have job alerts right now, you've got to get those going. So you can easily go to those sites, and they have a part that says add a job alert usually. And you need to search for what type of position you're going to do, and usually what location if you're not remote. So get those job alerts now. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're using, start automating your job search by getting job alerts. So that's the first part. You want to automate finding jobs. Second, you want an intelligent resume. Your resume needs to learn what jobs, education, and skills to include and how best to design your cover letter. Right now, people can hire professionals to help them with their cover letter, but there's nothing out there really that helps you kind of decide what's the best resume cover letter for this particular company. What is this company looking for in regards to education or skills? So I have an outline here showing you on the screen a TensorFlow, Google Machine Learning, and IBM Watson. These are kind of tools that you can use and learn. They're very complicated. And this is probably the weakest thing that's available out there now, presently, is making your resume intelligent. But that's about to change, as I'll tell you in the future. So just in your mind, think about, okay, I want to make it intelligent. That means it has to understand the market. I want to learn about what jobs and what skills are associated with each other. So just try and add as much intelligence as you can to your resume. This is a bit tough, but and I'll probably cover this in another webinar in more detail. But just think about making your resume intelligent as possible. Next, your resume needs to be data-driven. So it needs to measure how someone is viewing it, providing valuable and actionable insights and analytics. On the left, I have on my screen here, I have Google Analytics, Kissmetrics, and Crazy Egg. These are all things that you can get for free, and you can, or they have a free plan, and you can put them on your resume. I'd recommend you do this today. Apart from job alerts, you need to add analytics to your resume now if you're hosting it anywhere. So host your resume somewhere so that you can put these analytics and they're free. And I can help you do that, or there's lots of resources online that can help you do that. If you have the data, then you know what people are looking at. You know how often your resume is being visited. For example, if you send your resume out to a particular company and you see a spike in traffic, you can assume that that company is taking a look at your resume. That's not the best way to do it, but it's something that's available for free. AI Resume has something better, but this is what you can use now with the currently existing tools if you put them all together. So remember, data-driven. Just be thinking that in your mind. How can I capture data about how people are interacting with my resume? You got to get that in your resume. Finally, this is the most exciting part because it's fun and visual. is your resume has to be engaging, has to be customized with a compelling design, smart messaging, and personalized videos. You probably know design's important, and that's something we can do for free now with Strikingly and some other sites. They give you free design tools, and you can host your site there. And I'd recommend you do that if that's something you choose to do. Also, smart messaging. You might know apps like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. Messaging is the future, and also being able to connect with people. Sites like Sniply, which is the logo that I show you on the left, is one that allows you to do pop-up messaging. And finally, you got to have a personalized video. You have to put video in. It is the future. It's what a lot of people are focusing on these days. And video is probably the most engaging way to connect with someone who's viewing your content, your website, or your resume. So get some video, and you can do that with YouTube. So your resume needs to be engaging, so you need to customize it for the company you're applying to. You don't want to just send off thousands of resumes. I know I did it. I'm sure people who in the audience have done it as well or do it today. But when you send out a lot of just cookie cutter resumes, it's about the time you invest. If you invest time in your resume and you invest time in the application process, you're going to get a lot more out of it. For example, if you can put the logo of the company, you can customize the cover letter to directly talk about the position and possibly some things happening at the company that are useful or that you can actually help with. All of these things are important. The more you make it customized to the company you're applying to, the better. Even the video. I've seen people send me videos when they're applying for jobs at AI Resume, and sometimes they're just cookie cutter. I know they sent them to lots of people. And then there's the exceptional people who directly address AI Resume and talk about particular things they can help with the company. Those capture my attention the most. So of anything on the list, from automating your job search to making your resume intelligent to making it data-driven, engaging is really important because it's something that is visual that people will see. So let's take a look now at the resume of the future. What if there was a way to combine all these things that I talked about into one thing? And that's what the resume of the future is. Let's take a look. Once you've set up your AI Resume, you've got an account, and you're logged in, you're going to come to the main dashboard. This is what it looks like. You're going to see that there's a little drop down with some information about your subscription, if you need to contact us, you can contact us at any time. And then also there's a My Resume, My Applications, and Jobs area. So we're going to talk about the My Resume first. Every AI Resume account has your default resume. So you set this up first. Now there's three components to a resume. There's the analytics, there's the profile, and then there's the resume contents. Every resume has a unique link. So this link here you can give out, and this is how we track every single one of our applications. And then it has resume analytics where you can see some hits. So let's go to my profile. This is where you're going to start. And I'm going to set a demo one up for Jessica. So we're going to click here, and I'm going to get a picture of Jessica, and we're going to put her in here. And so this is where your profile picture is. When you look at your resume, this picture pops up in the left corner. And I'll show that to you shortly. Another thing you want to add is a signature. It just helps personalize the messages that you say to people who you're applying to their jobs for. So I'm going to write it in. So let's say we're going to write in Jessica and with a little heart or something. There we go. So that is the signature, and it's real easy to do. I just wrote it in there with the mouse and hit save. So we're going to type in the name, Jessica Taylor, and then the email address. If you change these, then they change your email when you want to access AI Resume. So if you change to something else, you'll have to use that email to access AI Resume. You can put in a phone number, and this is okay if you want to have it for your public resume. You probably don't want to have it public, but you can make this only available to certain applications you do in the future. I'm going to show this phone number, and I'm going to show let's see. Let's pick somewhere. No, I don't want to do Australia. Let's do Hamilton and Palo Alto. So I'm going to add an address here for Palo Alto, and I want to show the address on my default resume. I can pick a color, so let's go with like a light blue or something. And then a job role. This is kind of what you do now, or what you want to be the highlight on your cover letter. So let's say Jessica is a graphic designer. And then you can input data for your cover letter. So I might say, hi, my name is Jessica. I am a graphic designer. And then you can just continue to write information here. Hope to hear from you soon. Now, what I would do is I could put my name here, so I could put Jessica, or I could put Jessica's name here, and then it would be your signature below it, and you're going to see that shortly. So another thing is you can add some images, media, like a video, which I talked about earlier, is you want to put a video in there if you can. So you can make a custom video and then add it in, copy and paste it here. You can bold things, so like I might want to bold graphic designer, and I might want to italicize hear from you soon. So you can kind of customize how this looks, and that's kind of neat. Now there's social links too, so if you have like a GitHub or LinkedIn or Twitter, I'd recommend you put as many links as you have so that people can kind of research more about you. I'm going to do AI Resume just as a link, and I'm going to do our Twitter, which is, and you should follow us if you want to, because we're trying to post all kinds of great stuff to help you in your job search. Twitter.com/AI Resume. So I just added a couple things in there. Then I'm going to save the resume. And if I go up here to the top and I go to this area, I can click this button to view it. So it's going to load. See, the color's blue, the picture's here, the graphic designer's here. There's the signature. So you can see that this is pretty cool already, but when you look to resume, there's nothing in here. In the contact info there is, because I put the address, 300 Hamilton, I put a phone number, and if I don't want that in there, real quick I'll show you. Just turn it off. So I'll uncheck this one and uncheck the show address, and then I just noticed a spelling error. We'll have to fix that one. And then what you do is you go to the here in the resume, and you'll see that if I go to contact, there's just the email. So you can turn that off and on. For your default, you may or may not want to have your phone number and address if you're sending it out to like all kinds of different people. But when you do the custom application, you should definitely include it if you want them to contact you directly. All right, so this is the My Profile area. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Resume. And this is where you enter your job history, your education, and your skills. I'm just going to do it real quick. So let's just say she works for Facebook, and she started in 2015 and is currently working there. And the job is graphic designer. And this is where you'd put in, you can put in a reference name and email. This might help us when the AI is learning about things, because they can learn more about the people that referred you, which is very cool. So I could say at Facebook, I worked on the UI UX for Facebook Messenger, as well as the main website. And of course, you want to put more information than this. Try and put in as much information as you can that is relevant to the job. In this case, you're a graphic designer. So let's hit plus, the plus sign, and then it'll be added in. And then let's do education. Let's say they went to university. Let's just say UCLA. And their major was creative design. And the notes were they won awards for their my web designs, some sort of award. So that let's say they went there between 2011 and 2015, cutting out in June. So I'm going to add that in there for education. You can just keep adding education here. And then skills. This is where you're going to put in the skills you have. So maybe there's some skills with Photoshop, and you can put a 1 to 10. If you put a 1 to 10, the user interface is going to show little dots between 1 and 10. Or you can put words in here, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's say I'm a level 8, and the level of years of experience I have is 4. And then I want to do one more here. Let's just say user interface design. And I'm going to say intermediate, and I'll show you what that does. And the years of experience might be like 5 on that one. Okay, so I've put in a couple skills, put in some education. I'm going to put in one more job. I'm going to put in a job like intern, and maybe they were an intern between 2013 and 2015. And the intern, I'm sorry, let's put the intern in the proper area. Job title is intern, and the employer was Google. And at Google, I designed the interface for Google Plus and also Google Apps on the App Store, something like that. I helped, probably, because you would not be an intern if you actually designed everything yet. All right, so at Google I helped. So now you have 2 jobs and also education and skills. With that all filled in now, if we go back to the resume, you'll see that we still have our cover letter, and we still have our links, by the way. These are the links that take us to the Twitter and other things that we put in. And if you go to resume, you're going to start to see in here, oh, look, it's been filled in. Well, the reason we have this read more is so we can track what people are doing. So I'm going to show you that in a second. We're going to do I'm going to go out and do an incognito and then come back, and we're going to see what happened. So if you click read more this or read more that, I'm going to show you right now. So let's go, and then here's contact, by the way. See, no address, no phone number yet. So let's go into incognito mode. Okay, so here we are in incognito mode. The reason I did this, incognito is like a brand new browser it doesn't have any cookies and things like that. So it's just like you're a new person visiting. If you look at your own resume through your account, it's not going to track it because we're not going to take analytics on things you do as the owner of your account. So here we are as like a random user, and if they go to cover letter and they look around and they go to resume and they scroll down. Now, the reason we have these buttons is so that we can check, and we do other things as well that are pretty cool, what a potential employer is looking at. So if they expand here and they look around, they maybe hover around intern and they go down, skip over education, come down to skills and open that, we'll be able to record, and you'll see that in a second, what has happened, like what the person did. So maybe they looked at your skills and maybe they looked at your experience. That's good to know when someone is looking at a resume, because you'll kind of get a good idea of what they think is important. And if they click on contact, they go back to the cover, they come back to the resume. So these are things you can track how many times they do it. So let's go back and look at our analytics now. All right, so here we are. Let me go back to our analytics. And now we can see that we have some hits. Like we have 2 hits to the actual resume, or two hits to the resume zone. See the little tab there? See it says 2. And then hits is 1. That's unique hits to the resume. So they went to the about section, they went to the contact section, they expanded jobs, expanded skills. So you can start to see really a lot of detail about what somebody's doing. So that covers like your general resume, your default resume. As you can see, I now have a little picture in there. So this is where you go when you start. You get your resume set up. Now this is just where the magic begins. Now you can go to My Applications. This is an area where you create your custom application. Like we talked about earlier, you want to be able to customize each application. Now I'm going to do something really cool that we're adding. It's the autonomous job search that we've created. And this is going to find, as you can tell automatically it knew I was a graphic designer in the area I'm located. So, and I can include worldwide jobs if I want to move out of where I am. But I can hit search now, and I can look around and say, oh, here's a job in Menlo Park. Here's a job in San Francisco. So let's say I like this graphic designer and brand development. I can thumbs up it. I can view the job details if I want to. I can create a custom application right here. So let's go look through here. Looks really good. There's a couple good ones. Maybe the communications designer product. Click that one. I can hit load more if I want to load more and show more. So reason that we have this up arrow, let's say I don't like this one. I don't want to do the junior visual designer. I have too much experience or whatever, junior graphic designer. So you can, if you up arrow or down arrow, this helps our intelligent system be able to know what jobs you like the best and learn from that and be able to refer and give you better jobs in the future. So if you go to favorites, you'll be able to see all your favorites that you've selected, which is nice to be able to have those in one place. Now I found this graphic designer, brand developer, and I want to create a custom application. So if I hit the create custom application, bam, it has created a custom application for me. Now this is cool. Remember, we already filled the resume in. So we have the resume here already. We have Facebook and Google where we worked and are working. We have UCLA where we went to school, Photoshop. So all this is here. It's built in. My resume is almost done. So you can see there are some custom settings here. It says make my resume public. I want to check that. I want my address public. If that means I want to show my address to this employer. And then my phone. Maybe I want to show my phone. So here we include the company details automatically for you. And if you have a URL for the company, put it in. It's important because this will help us analyze that company better. So I'm going to find that. I'm going to show you how to find that real quick. So here's the job that we have, this job URL. I can go and open that job. And this one happens to be from Indeed. And I can see, oh, this is the San Francisco Foundation. And maybe I want to look up. So I'll put San Francisco Foundation. And I'll find out their website, sff.org. So here I am at the San Francisco Foundation. And then I will go in and I will paste that here. So try and paste the website because that helps our intelligent system be able to search and understand the business you're applying to and help you. Now I also have, let me just go back here to the job description. I would recommend that you just copy and paste, and we're going to be updating this to make it a lot easier. But for right now, just copy and paste the job description. If you don't have to, but you can. Copy and paste it in. And the reason we have this is because our intelligent system will be able to learn from this job position and help you even better. If we have the company URL and we have the job description, that gives us a ton of information that we can use to help you get this job. So if you can put it in there, go for it. Now here's the cover letter. This is where we're going to write our custom cover letter. So I could say, Dear the San Francisco Foundation. I don't know if people do dear anymore, but it sounds very formal. I would love to apply for the graphic. Now, here's where it's important. Let's look. Some people just do it. This graphic designer brand developer. So I can actually copy that job title and say the graphic designer brand developer position. I have over 5 years working in the creative design space and feel I could really add to your company. Please feel free to contact me if you have questions. Sincerely, Jessica Taylor. So I'm putting it in there. And so this is where you want to do. I'm not doing it now, but maybe in the future webinar. This is where you want to make a video. I would make a video and personally talk to them. I would look at the San Francisco Foundation website. I would find out what could I do to really help them. Where are some areas that I could really help with the graphic designer and brand developer position? Go in there, speak to those points. Find the needs, find the pain. That's important. So find the needs, find the pain. Go to the site, and then when you do your video or when you write your cover letter, include that in there. Things that you can do right now to help them. Now there's something I'm not going to cover right now, but these are custom pop-ups. If you enable custom pop-ups, you can actually have a message pop up after your resume has been viewed a certain number of times. In the past, I've found that 2 or 3 times, it means it's going around the company. A lot of people are looking at it. This custom pop-up message could actually be a YouTube video where you could say, hey, thanks for looking at my resume. It looks like you guys are interested. You should give me a call. Or you could write in there, it's been great seeing you look at my resume. If you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. You could do any type of pop-up message you want. You could change it over time. After the interview, you could say, thanks for the interview. It was awesome. I can't wait to see about a future at your company. So that's really neat because when they revisit your resume after they've done the interview, they're going to be surprised that that pop-up notification of that messaging is dynamic. That's something about engaging, right? That's something about impressing. So let's say I know the color for San Francisco Foundation is red. So we're going to use this and we're going to update the resume. So that's it. This link right here, this link is what I would provide them when I applied. When I apply, and advice that I give other people in the past, people who do it now, is in a cover letter, simply say, hey, my name is so-and-so. Here is a custom resume I've built to show you exactly what I can do for you to talk about it. And then you put that link, get this link in there, whether it's make a PDF file or Word file, just put the link in. Make people click the link. That's how you're going to get them to be tracked. That's very important. All right, so let's click that link and see what happens. Here we are. It says graphic designer, about me, Dear San Francisco Foundation. Do you see the title though? The title is the role you're applying for. The reason we did this is because it kind of cements your like qualifications. So when they look at, hey, Jessica Taylor, graphic designer and brand developer, it's already there. Hey, that's what we're looking for. It's perfect. So here's my all the information I put in my cover letter. And then if you go to your resume, they can look around and let's say they're like, I'm going to see what skills you have, Photoshop, user interface. Remember back when we did it, intermediate was the word we used. So you can put intermediate or a number between 1 and 10. So I look around, maybe I go to contact and hey, what's this? You see, because I turned this on for this particular company, I can see my address, I can see my phone number. So you can have people call you just for a particular company. You don't need to show your phone number or your address for everyone. Maybe it's relevant for the company you're applying to. This is when you would show that information. All right, so I go back to the cover letter and maybe I click the Twitter, whatever I click. So I've got a good idea of what this person is doing. So if I go back, I look at it. Remember, if I do analytics, I'm not going to see anything here yet because we have to do incognito or in a different browser window because we don't want to record things we do because that's not helpful for us. All right, let's go to our resume. Now, if we look at our resume and we see Facebook and Google, here's something really cool we can do. Let's say I worked at the Met Art Gallery or something, and I had not put this in my resume because I was thinking, no, it's not relevant to graphic design, but for this particular job applicant, it might be really, really relevant. So let's say I worked on their, I was a web designer for them or graphic designer. So I was a graphic designer there, and I worked on the site design and marketing materials. So in this case, this is something that's specific for this particular resume. So I might click the add to default resume, and this would add this to my default resume. If I was like, oh, I forgot I need to add this to my default, it would automatically do that. But if I just want this job on this particular application, I wouldn't do that. I'd hit plus. Well, if I go now to the application and I click this button, I'm going to show you something. And look at my experience. Hey, there's a graphic designer at the Met Art Gallery. So that's in there too. Now I've customized my skills because a lot of us have skills, a lot of us have education and experience that may not be pertinent for particular jobs we're applying to. Now we can customize each resume, highlighting the skills and experience and education that's good and fit for that position. So I'm going to go back to my default resume, which is my default resume here. And if I go on this one, just to show you, and I go to resume and I click this, there's no art gallery here. So this is cool because now you can add and subtract things from your resume dynamically. All right, so let's do one more thing. And that is, let's check out our analytics. And I'm going to, hey, what's this? There's something down here. What is that? Well, I'm just kidding. I know what it is. Let's hit play on here. Now, what are we watching here? This is a recording of what I did on the resume. Exactly. See, I'm highlighting flyer design. I'm going around and I'm showing things like, I'm like, oh, let's look at this. Let's look at the more. Look, there's the Met Art Gallery like I was talking you through. This is an actual recording. This is data and analytics that we get with AI Resume. So I can watch what people are doing and I'll understand what they're looking for. If they're hovering around graphic designer, if they're looking at a particular skill or experience, you're going to know. You can watch every single thing everyone does on your resume. That is awesome. Here's another one here. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we'll find out. I'm going to skip the pauses because otherwise it just sits around sometimes where people read stuff. Now look what I'm doing with the mouse. What you'll notice, a little trick I found, is people click and hover over things they're interested in. So you might see, okay, this person's looking around and they're going to look at my education, my skills. The first thing they went to is skills. So that means, hey, and they looked at Photoshop and they hovered around user interface design and intermediate. So this is really useful. And you can see where they click and just this, I'm so excited about this because when I was starting out doing, and before, this is the latest revision in AI Resume. Before, I didn't have the ability to record all this stuff. This is new stuff we've added recently. So if I could have watched when I was applying for jobs what people did, I could have done so much more to like cater the job or the resume or the cover letter. When I talked in the interview, I'd know exactly what they were focused on. I'm going to cover a lot more about this in another webinar because this is just the skills you can learn with this is unbelievable. So this is me. I'm watching it live. I'm not doing anything. That's not my mouse. I'm not moving it around. That was an actual recording. You can access those too. So that comes with the analytics in the My Applications area. So there's analytics there. All right. Well, I've covered AI Resume. I know it's a lot. Thanks for your patience. If you want to get started, you should go to AI Resume and upgrade your resume. And if you have any questions, I'll take those later. Or you can send me an email at titus@airesume.com. That's TITUS at airesume.com. Let's go back to the presentation, and then we'll close for the day. So we're back. I hope you enjoyed the resume of the future. I hope it gets your mind going and you're excited. And frankly, I hope you're encouraged and empowered, because I know when I was sending out resumes, it was tough. You send it out, you send out a few, you never know what's happening, you don't know what's going on. Now you will. You'll know everything. And as you grow with our company and you create your own AI resume, the things we're going to add and the things that we have right now, it's going to give you such a competitive advantage. And my goal eventually is to be able to compete even against AI itself, to give you a huge advantage. So there's some exciting things coming in the next few months and years, and I look forward to you being a part of AI Resume. So let's to recap what we did. So you can, even if you don't use AI Resume, you can still do these things with your resume to make it 21st century. You automate your job search, make it intelligent, make it data-driven, make it engaging. Add some video. Get some video in there today. As soon as you finish this webinar, get out there and get a video, and don't keep doing the cookie cutter applications. Customize them. Make them custom. So get your resume of the future at airesume.com. I'm going to try and do more webinars in our team as well to help you use technology in your job search and building your resume so that you can excel into the future. Good luck, and thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening to this webinar and watching it. Have a great day.